Yeah, we can start, ma'am.
A great review can be great, but a bad review can be worst. Words by Don Winslow. A warm welcome to everyone gathered. The second day of our session is about writing review on literature and methodologies conducted by Dr. V. Vaishnavi. We kindly request everyone to turn off their microphones when not in use till the session is over. Dr. V. Vaishnavi, Assistant Professor of our Management Studies Department, she achieved her doctorate in Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham University, located at Coimbatore, in the year 2020. She was a research scholar for 4 years in Amrita School of Business from 2017 to 2020. She has presented 9 papers in international conference and 6 papers in national conference. She has published 11 journals, which includes application of fuzzy logic approach for assessment and legality in manufacturing service industry. She pursued her MBA degree with a specialization in HR and marketing and has been working as a consciable faculty in our Congo Engineering College for the past 3 years. Over the professional achievement, she came across many personal struggles to stand by as a successful scholar. Among others, her journey of education is truly inspired one. It's a pleasure to invite Dr. V. Vaishnavi to conduct today's session.
Thank you, Narmata, and good evening to all. And I welcome you all for the second day of FDP program on literature review and research methodology. I personally felt very happy to share my views then and there during this session, so that hopefully, I hope those will be the more useful for you when you start doing your researches. My screen is visible, Sanjay.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. Today we'll look into the literature review and research methodology part, which could be your main part in your research. Whoever doing the research is mainly for the article and also for the thesis. Uh, First, we look into the literature review. So, in literature review, we all try to understand what is the background of the study. For example, I'll go with my research thesis so that it could be more useful, and also I can give you more insight on that. Okay, I have done my thesis in the organization readiness for change. That is, you can apply the or you can make an organization ready for applying various operational tools like lean six sigma and agility in an industry of healthcare. Okay, so we try to apply the lean six sigma and agility concepts in an healthcare industries, which is specifically we focused on hospitals, where you need to make ready or prepare them for making a changes in the various departments related to lean six sigma implementation. So this is my overview of the uh, research and how I have done over it, and what are the things I have done it over. I'll try to go along with it so that it will be more useful. When you're looking into the organization here, there are three aspects you have to look it into my thesis part. The first one, which talks about organization readiness for change. So that is the concepts, which is the preliminary level or the initial level of the organization change. The terminology is being emerged after 2012 by Weiner was one of the professor who talked about it, and he's the one who developed the theoretical perspective of organization readiness for change from the organization change. So, and another part you have to look into my thesis as the lean six sigma and the agility. So these are the three sub themes which you have to know. Here in the title itself, I have given it as the insights on unknown. The unknown is being striked out as a known facts. So from my title, you can come to and understand that you have to understand three concepts. One is organization readiness for change, lean six sigma, and the other one is the agility. So these are the known factors. We all come across these terminologies whenever we started looking for any new methodologies for improving the process of the organization, and also the change organization change aspects. But when it comes to, we know all these terms, but when it comes to a research perspectives, it is the wider area. It is very very difficult for us, or it has been vaster area. It is difficult to get the informations which we wanted. So that's where you need to understand for what reasons we are writing the literature review section. And also I'll try to share some of the tips which will be more useful, and how to get a copyright and the permissions and the figures for the tables. The first reason why the people are writing the literature review, the people who are all writing a literature reviews are PhD scholars, doctorates, and the students. The PhD scholar is the person who been going to start their research work. They need to know in which area the work is being done it. For example, if someone is wanting to do a research in an organization change, they need to know how many researches are being done it in an organization, or what are the themes they have done it in, and what are the areas they have covered it, and what are the things they couldn't do it. So you need to know. For your PhD thesis, the scholars will need to know to define their problems. They'll do a literature review. The second is the doctorates, the person who completed their PhD and also they are continuing their research in the field in various aspects, like in academic, and some will work in the research related associations. So there they need to do a research where they need to know the literature on the existing fields, and also to know how the emergence has been gone through after a certain period. The various people have done it two to three kinds of literature review. The same author itself have written two to three literature reviews in the same field after a certain period. At the beginning of the emergence of one particular field, after 10 years, after 20 years, so the same author itself have written it about on one particular field or a topic, so that it helps them to know what are the emergence are happened after a certain period. The students, you can take it MBA or a engineering background students, who will do a literature review to know what was the problem has been what was the activities, or what was the research has been gone through in their areas, like the PhD scholar. Here I have given one uh, article web page so that you can look into. I'll try to show it. So this is the one article which has been written by Gijo Anthony. He is the one person who has been pioneer in the Lean Six Sigma, and we call them as the who's the highly cited person, who's the one who worked in that particular field very longer period. If you want, you can search and look also in the Google Scholar. If you want to look into Lean Six Sigma, the first name which comes is the Jeju Anthony. I'll show his profile. This is the Google Scholar profile. He has done many researches, and everything is more related to Lean Six Sigma in manufacturing, healthcare, and the various aspects like critical success factor, critical failure factor, performance aspects, MNCs, and everything, or majority of his work all has been done it in the Lean Six Sigma, in which this one particular literature review paper is the highly cited paper, and also he's been well known for this paper. So I just want to show this because you need to understand how the people are writing and why they need all these aspects. And next we'll see When you're writing a literature review, we'll write it for certain main reason. The first reason is to know the exact literature on a particular field, how the work is being emerged. For example, if you want to know a job satisfaction among the employees in earlier days, it may be started in 90s, 30 or 40 or in a 50, but till throughout this particular era of 2020, how the job satisfaction is being emerged, and on what are the various variables, and what are the various constructs, and what are the various elements are being added, you can come across only with the literature. So that's why you need to know the literature. And second one is which helps us to create new ideas based on the existing literature. The existing literature will help you to get a newer idea, and which the certain people are not touched it, and the certain people are not able to develop it. So that's where you can get a newer area to do it. And the third aspect is we'll have a broader area, and we'll be looking into, every time we looked into lean six sigma, agility, healthcare perspective. And at one point of time I got frustrated. I couldn't write my research problem then and there, because of I didn't have a proper literature review. After conducting a proper literature review for 3 months, then I come to know so what has been missing there, and that is the research gap, and how I can complete that gap with the research question, so which helps you to narrow down your research problem. And the next aspect is to propose the research related aspects on the like in government related proposals, where you can give it how it has been done it, and how further you can take it. And next is the knowledge gaining, so which gives you a complete knowledge about one particular field. The literature review is the one area where you can gain all kind of knowledges, all kind of themes which is related to one particular field or in one particular area. And also it helps us to identify the various variables or the constructs which is related to our the identify gap and the problem which we have identified. And the literature review is mainly people has done it. Some people will try to write the literature review as one article, where they want to give the complete information at the beginning itself, and they want to define it. I When I was doing my PhD in Amrita School of Business in Coimbatore, where I used to work it with my guides, and also another co-DC members. Raja Sridharan is the one of the a DC member. The person who's been working in more manufacturing related. I have done my thesis in operational area, even though I have done it my MBA in HR and marketing, where I had a good opportunity to there. And those people are writing a vastest literature review every time in a one particular topic, but in a different fields. Like if the person has been written in a lean six sigma with manufacturing, as well as with the healthcare and educational institutions, so they try to summarize the themes on the topic in the different industries, so that they'll get a vaster idea about one particular field. And this is the structure of literature review. So if you follow this could be better for you to write it a very good literature review. The first one is chronological order, where some people will try to write it in some orders, like from based on years, authors, based on the number of citations they have got it for a one particular author, year wise, country wise. And the that order may be of ascending or a descending. Maybe like some art people have written it like extensive literature review. If you looked at, they'll be written it with the themes and the various keywords, and country wise, and also year wise, and in one particular year how many articles are being done at journal wise, and citation and all these aspects. And next is the classical approach, where we'll try to classified based on the themes which we want to do it. When You can take an example of Lean Six Sigma and healthcare. I want to know in the Lean Six Sigma how it has been combined, because those two are the two separate terminologies. Lean has been completely mainly for eliminating all kinds of wastages. Six Sigma is a one operational concepts which will be more useful for you to reduce the errors, and how those being combined in the healthcare, and in what are the areas it has been applicable, and it has been applied, and how it has been applied, and in what are the countries it has been more used. So likewise you can classify them, so that is also another way. And topic related, when you want to talk about the variables which has been used to successfully implementation of Lean Six Sigma, or you can look into the failures of Lean Six Sigma, like what are the success factors and what are the failure factors, and what are the methods they have used to implement successfully. So those are topic related, and from the general to a specific related to your objectives also, you can write it. And the last one is it's combinations, or you can take it as the combine, how you can use it. And the literature reviews will help you to give you a good knowledge, or the wider knowledge in one particular field. And also it helps the investigators to get into different ideologies. And sometimes that is the literature review will trigger you to how you can apply those concepts, and various methodologies are being used. And past studies sometimes will be the supportive for your existing literature. And some person has been like if you didn't have a proper literature, you can derive it from the another similar fields also. So that's where you can use literature reviews. So these are the some of the sources you can identify it to collect the various literature from books, journals, electronic databases like bibliometric, abstract, full text, and from the government and industry reports. And sometimes you can use it from the internet research uh, distractions, and from the thesis. The thesis you can refer Soth Ganga, and we have a various websites where they'll publish the PhD completed, that is the scholars completed theses also, and also various theses which is done it from the various universities you can find there, and you can get complete data. So these are the steps you have to use it to write a literature review. First, you have to define the problem for what you are writing a literature review. And the second one, you have to do a searching. And from the search, you have to collect the literature related or a similar data in an year wise, or some people will use it in a uh, theme wise, and they segregate and they'll have it. And some people use it in the journal publishers kind of aspects, the way you want it. So you have to collect and you have to store it. And after that, the third is to summarize it. The summary you can give it in the now the lots of people are using mapping techniques and tables, summary tables, whatever the forms you want to give it. I'll show you one article when I come across when I'm writing on one particular book chapter. uh, so this is the evaluation of Internet of Things, that is IoT, over past 20 years. So this author has been written it in 2021. That's the time when I looking for the another topic apart from my research area. So I started working on Internet of Things. So this is the one article I find it very vaster literature review, and this is the one article which helped me to know about what is Internet of Things and how it has been emerged over past 20 years. So here I'll show you, uh, do you all able to see the research article?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So these are the they have done it with the complete literature systematic review. Here this is the table they have given it based on top 20 journals where they have published more on the IoT related aspects, and also they have done it bibliometric review or year wise review wise, like research article which talks about uh, empirical research in review articles. The majority of review itself has been written. If you looked into the review perspective in 2019, 104 research articles which has been specifically written for the literature review on the IoT basis. They have written it with the various themes, so you can understand how the field has been emerged and how it has been applied. So this is the a mapping technique, and it has been used. Who are all the people co-authored from the networking perspectives? And I'll show you, this is the country wise mapping, and this is the journal wise mapping. And I'll show you the themes and keyword how they have mapped it. This is country, and this is the themes. You can take it as the clusters, and what are the ways it has been more used apart. Internet of things, cloud security, efficient blockchain edge encryption, and all IT interaction, impact, medical, the field, sensors, energy, everything. It has been one thing where they combined all the keywords and the sub themes into one particular image. You can express it with this aspects also, or you can give it with the tables also. I'll show you one more article. So this is an IoT article where they have used it. Here, the first aspect is about the references, the authors who are all used, and the stand range and data frequency. This is all in more in IT related aspects. So this is the IoT is being mainly used in the elderly care. That is in healthcare. How you can manage the elder people. For that they have used IoT. So those literature specifically as one particular theme has been taken, and they have used it in aging. Itself they have used it with the various other sub themes like age care monitoring, clinical patient monitoring, healthcare, human activity recognition, clinical applications, emergency conditions, mental health. So these are the sub themes from the IoT. You can use it for the managing the aging people. So this is how you can set your themes and how the people are being used. So that is the summarizing. Next is the defining arguments, where they'll try to argue the statements, like we have previously seen it with the uh, healthcare related aging in IoT, and what they want to convey it at the end, and what are the applications and how it has been done it, and what type of research they have done it on to classify those aspects, and everything is being detailedly discussed. So that is the defining argument and detailed argument. And last you will do a drafting and communicating your findings. From that you can take it to the next level of research gap, and also for defining your research problems. So, and another one aspects I want to share you, those are technical terms which I've talked about how the literature review is being done. Now we'll get into a generic term where the people all will understand, and also they'll be able to connect over it. The cinema is the one thing where everyone's life has been gone through it. Like they cross cinemas, they watch movies. Now you will have various platforms and various sources for us to watch movies. And early days the people has to go to theaters or some dramas plays where they can watch a movie, but now it is not like that. The theaters online platforms, various channels are available for us to watch movies. So we all day to day life we come across with the movies. So I want to give you an extensive literature how it has been done it in a movie. I want to share Anjali Jirorai is one English department, that is Humanities Department faculty in IIT Kharagpur. She has done it various literature review related articles, mainly based on Bollywood cinemas. So these are the some of the topics which you can refer. I'll based on this we have done one literature like to make you to understand. I want to share that with you. It is not published for you to for the understanding of the audience purpose. We have taken that and how it has been emerged. Okay, we'll get into that. The title of the review article is how the transformation of Kollywood cinema. Here we want to talk about Tamil movies. So that's where the transformation of Kollywood cinema. Now I ask you a question, that is I pose a question to you all. In Tamil movies, if you want to write a literature review, what are the sub themes and what are the things you will include for writing? uh, I have posted a question that in Tamil cinema and Tollywood, if you want to write about a literature review about a cinema, what are the things you will include? You can post it in the chat box also. You can talk.
Probably the history of the cinema industry,
Is okay. Next.
and then evolution
Okay.
about the technologies used,
Yes,
various
good.
technologies upgraded,
Yes.
and the change in the approach, or maybe um, that is what technology, ma'am. I think that's
Okay. Okay, okay. Thank you. So you have given a one particular theme of technology base, how the
yeah.
evaluation is being taken care. Okay. Any other points from the other audience? Time, range, transformation of stories, population size, genes of cinemas. Good. Next.
Social relevance. Is it
Social.
relevance to the present society or not? How far it
Okay.
is relevant to the present
Okay.
society?
Okay, sir. Good. Thank you. And any other themes?
What are the variations to the previous cinemas, present cinema?
Okay. The
Genre,
pre
the genre of
Different.
travel, like
oh,
science
mm.
fiction kind of thing. The genre
Yes,
which
yes.
has changed. Yes.
Okay, okay. The people who has been changing cinemas also you can include. Good. And someone has written as the consumers accepting cinema from then and now. So earlier how the cinemas are and now how the Tamil cinemas are. Okay, good. Any other comments from the audience side?
We can see budget also. In previous days, how much budget
Mm.
has been
Yes, sir.
produced
Mm.
one cinema. At present, what is the budget?
Yes, sir. Yes,
That
sir. So
also
from
we
budget
can.
basis also you can write it. Good. Other audience?
Women role in cinema like director and actress and all, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Good. Very nice. And next, like this is the session I want to give it with uh,
Technicians
like
before.
if you Ma'am, once again, I couldn't hear you. Sorry.
Technicians involved, more number of technicians than in the earlier cases.
Technicians. Yes. 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 Good, ma'am. Good. 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 Okay. I'll show you. Do you all able to see the presentation? Anyone please
Yes,
reply?
ma'am.
Okay, so you all given various themes. Based on that, and also from our perspective, we have written it. So these are the some of the sub themes, or you can divide it cinemas into based on artist, story, screenplay, direction, dialogue, cinematography, music, sound effects, visual effects, cinematography, costumes, makeup, stunts, and editing. So you have given all the perspectives, but we classified into a generic perspective, because from the generic perspective, if you take it into, it is very easy for us to write it. Someone has told about the budget, and also someone told about the technicians and the people. So those all been like stand editing, costumes, cinematography, the technologies related to visual and sound effects, music. In music also we have used various technologies in cinematography also. So all has been commonly first given in the this particular sub themes: artist, story, screenplay, direction. So this is the sub theme, from which you can take it to the next level based on, for example, if you wanted to talk about the artist. Here you will have four classifications in the artist: male artist, female artist, comedian, character artist. If you take into the male artist, from early days to till now, if you looked into in 1930s, you'll have only 3%. Tyagaraja Bhagavathar, Chinnappa, and MGR. After that, Gemini Ganeshan. So those are the persons who has been entered into a cinema market on those particular years. After that only, they had been withstanded for the longer period. When you looked into in 1970s, there are 12 heroes are being entered in, which the Kamal from Rajini to Suman, in 80s Mohan to Parthiban, in 90s Vijay to Kunal, and in 2000 from Madhavan to Vimal, in 2010 Vijay Sethupathi to GV Prakash. So these are the some of the actors who's entered into a uh, acting field in various fields. And if you classify them, so you can classify them with based on the acting one part, and based on what was the other versatility they'll have it. Apart from the acting, some person has been directed, they'll have a music they'll be a music director, and some person also be a screenplayer, some person also dialogue writer, some person also cinematographer, and some person has sing a song in various movies. So you can classify the actors based on the acting, and another one what was the other versatility they have, or a skill set they have it. And you can classify them based on how long they have withstanded, and how many movies, how many flops, and how many success movies, how many awards. So you can classify them. So those are the actors which has been common. Next I want to show you, so these are the some of the hints, or some of the sub themes where you can write about it. You can write it in a two way, from the artist perspective, and some another is based on the theme perspective. So this is the theme is very very essential when you commit to the literature review. So the artist are, you can take it as the authors. So you can find n number of authors in the literature review, but you cannot write it based on the authors. It is very very difficult, because If you take it, Gemini Ganeshan itself has done it more than hundreds and 200 movies. You cannot write vastly about that one particular person. If you take it, Sivaji Ganeshan, MGR, Rajini, Kamal, Vijay, so their movies will be very, very higher. That goes on the deeper on a author perspective. But when you come to a theme perspective, which helps you to write it very easily, so that is the own style, imitation, dramatic of reality, fame, sustainability, versatile, and the salary basis. So these are the some themes you can write it. And also nowadays you can watch, you can find these kind of themes in the YouTube itself, and in the various social media web pages. The YouTubers are creating and telling who is the highest salary paid actors in the last year, and who's been withstanding, and whose generations are being continuing from the parents till children and the grandchildren who are all in the cinema field. Like those are the small small clippings which tell you how the cinema has been emerged, not only in the Tamil, it also the YouTubers are providing the sub themes or the details in such a way, in a form. So I want to convey you with that. You cannot go with the author perspective when you're writing a literature review, where you have to go with the theme perspectives or the conditions which we want to write it. Similarly, we looked into the next aspect of screenplay and direction. So these are the four classification of uh, directors who has been emerged from 1930s till date. And also what was the sub themes, or based on themes, how you can write about the screenplay and the direction based on stories, like class directors, they call it like A class, B class, and C class. The story, commercial, and actor based. So when you looked into the review, it has been universally accepted by all class peoples. Like the reviewer will give it a review about that. So those we call it as story based, commercial, and also commercial actor based. And filmmaking style of the each director, history, family oriented. Like if you looked into uh, uh, various people uh, has taken the movie to the next level, from lengthy dialogues to the uh, without dialogues. And also some directors has been given it with the realistic movies. If you take it, Bharati Raja, he has been taken all the movies which is more related to the village subjects, and also realistic and family oriented. Within one particular house or within four families, the movie will be completely over. P. Vasu's, and you will have various directors. And if you looked into Shankar, it is more for the something new, and it is which is very very high budget and highly kind of movies, devotional, entertaining, political related movies. If you looked into uh, uh, who's that director, the person who has taken latestly, it has been released, a Sivakarthikeyan movie, and uh, Robo those kind of things, and how many movies, how many hits, and how many flops. So this is how you can sub theme it based on the screenplay and the direction. Next we Next, we looked into dialogue and cinematography. You can take it how the cinema has been evolved from unique style of picturization, from the black and white to the color. And what are the various colors has been emerged: hand colors, jiva colors, technic colors, eastern color, ORW colors. That is uh, these are the some of the ways the colors has been emerged. Now we were looked into HD level movies. So these are the evaluations which has been done it in the cinematography, and who are all the pioneer in cinematography fields, and dialogue writings, and from uh, lengthy dialogue to without a dialogue. There is a one movie called without even a single dialogue. The movie is being taken Pesum Pada. If you have a time, you can refer it. Kamal has been acted there, but there is no any dialogue over it. And earlier, the people will uh, sing and talk their own voice, but after that, it has been substituted with the playback singer and dialogue. Dubbing artist and all, and some movies has been taken on the live recording. Alaipai de Maniratna movie is one of the live recorded movie where there is no dubbing studio for a movie, so everything has been taken when the scene has been enacted. And these are the new technologies which we were using it earlier. If you want to take some cameras, if you like, if you want to do a shooting in uh, a village or in some mm, uh, areas in the forest and all, deeper dense and forest, you have to take a setup of a bigger camera set. But now it is not like that. You can use various drones easily, and you can record the sounds also, and also the emotions of the even minute emotions and minute movements of the trees and also birds, and everything is being captured with all these emerging technologies, and how that those is being used in the various movies also. And next, you can look into the music, like who are all the musicians from uh, Vishwanathan, and I remember only MSC, and now until Anirudh. But apart from that, there is also a certain people from G. Ramanathan till Adi. Now we all come across, and how they have used it, and what was the instrument, and how they have used it, like jazz, black jazz, white jazz. These are the western tones, negative emotions, guitars, and scoring. And some of the in AR Raguman music is the evaluation musics we all talk about after an Ilayaraja for a longer period. Even the minute sounds and everything is being recorded, and that has also been displayed in the music. So this is how the evaluation of cinema has been done it in the, and also you can write it based on these sub themes also: sound effects, visual editing, costume. So these are the some of the sub themes which is not included in the previous themes, like artist, director perspective, music director, and also the cinematography aspects. So you can write based on these sub themes also on a literature review perspectives. These are the some of notable transformations which has been done it in the movies. And also you can give it specifically like this, or with that theme you can write it. The themes which I have been given it in the pink color, that is computer used screenplay writing software, Dolby studio surrounders, and time freeze technique, live sound recording, digital format, super 35M format, neuro motion, performance capture technology, or sound technology. Like you can write it based on themes also, and also some of the notifications like these things. These are the contents which we have taken it from the Wikipedia and from the behind woods websites related to when we were developing how we can deliver it to the common audiences. And this is the one part you can use it. So Uh, so this is the one part, and when you're writing a literature review, you'll use the one particular author's idea, and you'll try to tell them in such a way how you used it and how the person has been done it. For example, A has been examined, studied, explored, demonstrated, identified, found out, sure, argued, confirmed, concluded, apprehended, provide, and affirmed. So where you'll try to cite that particular person's work in such a way, not directly, you cannot write it directly in your thesis or in your research article, where you can use these phrases to show off those kind of uh, works and how you have taken it to your aspects. I'll show you the example of my research article, how I have done it. So this is the article I have published in 2020, and this is the article I have done it very extensive literature review, and me and my guide, and the title is about readiness factors, modeling the readiness factor for implementation of Lean Six Sigma in healthcare organization. So I have done a literature review based on first what is the lean management and how it is being used in the healthcare industry, and about Six Sigma and how it is being used. Then I get into a Lean Six Sigma, why it is very, very essential in the healthcare. And here I have written it about some very highly cited and highly required research articles, which has been highlighted in the with the highlighted text of blue. Black 2009 has explored Lean Six Sigma and noted a structured methodology for transforming process. So this is how you have to write it from their perspective. So you have taken it, the Black's article, and you have done a review, and you have taken it how they have been used it for, what are the ways they have used it to transform the process. And likewise you have to write it and but et al has applied in the registration process in the hospital, and explore the implementation of methodology in cycle time of the out time departure. And so these are the some of the articles and the people who are being used Lean Six Sigma in the healthcare, that is in the hospitals. And I have cited them, and from then I have identified the readiness factors, that is the preparedness factors for implementation of Lean Six Sigma in healthcare. So those are the studies who help me to understand what is Lean Six Sigma and how it is being used in the healthcare industry. And also certain people have talked about what are the various things we have to consider when you implementing Lean Six Sigma. So based on that only I have come to a conclusion of readiness factors. So where we have listed around 21 factors, and those 21 factors has been finalized after the expert opinion and the expert discussion, and they have finalized with the 16 factors. And I want to show you one table which I have done it on the same research article. This is the table I have done it for those factors which I have identified, and this is the authors who talked about that particular factor in their research article, and also what was the methodology they have used and what was the findings they have talked about that particular factor. So this is the literature review I have done it for my specific purpose related to the factors which I have identified. So this is how you can write it in a table form or a summary form according to the wants of your thesis or your research article. So where I have written it for the confirmed 16 factors, which gives the background support that these are the authors have talked about these variables separately not in a combined form. Some has talked about time and cost, some has talked about project selection and service design, reward and recognition, employee commitment and trust. So those are the genres related to Lean Six Sigma. The people have talked about it. Here at the end, we have combined all these factors and we have come to a conceptual framework, and this is the model we have arrived. Wait, I'll show you the model which we have arrived from our study. So that's the thing how the literature has been done it for my this one particular article. From that article's literature review only, I have concluded and come to these confirmation of 16 factors, and also the model is being developed. So this is the model which we have done it based on our literature review, and the literature review has given me a much more insight about each and every factor, and I come add a clear definition about each and every factors. Next, we'll see the tools available for the literature review. So these are these various tools you can use it from the online perspectives to write your literature review. The first one, which talks about the literature search, you will have a n number of literature related tools like Google Scholar, EBSCO, Elicit, and PubMed. These are some of the tools where you can find the similar articles, and also from the various publishers like Emerald, Taylor and Francis, Science Direct, and also Springers. So you can use these kind of publishers pages also, where you can find and identify the similar literature on a particular field. And also you will have a mapping. I have shown you how the based on theme basis, like various countries, various variables, and various sub keywords, and also year wise, author wise, the sub theme mapping we have looked into. So for that mapping also, now the online tools are available: Research Rabbit, Connected Papers, Lit Maps. So these are some of the tools you can use it. And also for writing your research article, there are Grammarly, Quillbot, and Paperball will help you to write it in a proper way, and also help you to check your grammatical related mistakes to some extent. But you cannot depend on these kind of writing tools, because that tells you or give you what you are giving, but that doesn't tell you how you have to write it. The writing is being purely we have to done it by ourselves. And also some of the citation tools like Mendeley, EndNote, and Zoreto. Some people try to use these kind of tools in their thesis, but I prefer manually, because um, I have a habit of using manual referencing style. So this is the literature review. I have done it for one particular paper related to environmental sustainability implementation in hospitals. So if you want to implement and environmental sustainability means what are the ways. So this will tell you how I have run it, what is environmental sustainability, and how it has been used in the healthcare. And in second paragraph, I have cited with the various people who has used, and how they have implemented in the healthcare, and what has been missing. After this, I have written it. So this is the citations. Srinivas and from 2017, they have applied about the challenges of corporate sustained development environment. Like, so I have cited in a two-way of form. I'll show you how I'll write my literature part. For example, if you go to a Google Scholar, you all able to see the Google Scholar page? Anyone please tell me, are you all able to see the Google Scholar page? Sanjay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you. Okay. Uh, if you want to write uh, about I can take my own paper. So this is the recently last year published article, but it has been accepted in 2022 end, but they have published in online on mid of 2022, and it has been published in 2023. That is the printing edition has been came in 2023. So this is my research article. How I write it, here the environmental, the person has been written it about the environmental sustainability, and they have identified various factors related to environmental sustainability implementation, uh, the green building initiatives, water consumption, resource usage, and renewable energy has been identified as the key factors in the study. Okay, so if you want to cite the person, if you click this double quotes, you will get a APA format. So you have to copy the APF format and you have to paste in your where you want to write it. So I'll paste every time here at the down about the complete reference. Then I'll write about that person perspectives which I required it, which I required for the theme which I am looking into. Okay, so here they have done it in the healthcare industry. So I'll write like this. Have applied environmental sustainability in hospitals for in which green building initiatives, water consumption and resource usage and renewable energy were identified as the key factors, uh, or you can write it as the where mm, essential factors to be considered for successful implementation. So this is how I'll write it, the content. I'll take the content, what I required, like what was the importance they were saying. So what was the output of the study and what was their findings? So what are the things which I required, and I'll write it in my perspectives according to the requirement of my thesis or an article. Okay, so this is of you have to write it, and you can use the manual citations like that also, and sometimes you can use these Mendeley or EndNote kind of softwares which is available in the mm, internet, you will have a various sources where you can learn it very easily. Okay, the next part is copyright permissions for figures and tables. In literature review in IoT paper, we have looked into various figures and the tables. If you want to use that figures and table, you need to get a permission from that particular publisher. On particular journal about you are going to use this in your thesis or in your research article, so you need to get a permission. So it is very simple process. That is one part which is very very essential. Without the permission from the publisher, you cannot use it. So that's the one thing I want to share it, because various people will try to refer and they'll give it the citation, but that doesn't help you out when it comes to the tables and figures. You have to get the permission. Okay. Next, we'll see the research methodology. So far, we have looked into how we'll do a literature review, and from that literature review, how we'll come out with the or how we'll identify the research gap. I think in yesterday's class, Karthikeyan sir has been talked about what is a research gap. You will be identifying it. Now we'll continue with the main part, that is the research methodology. Here I'll talk about the research design. What kind of research design we are going to do it? If you're using a primary data, so that is the descriptive kind of research. When you are using a secondary data like stock market related or readily available data previously is been there uh, from the government websites and mm, various platforms where you can download those data. So those kind of data, if you are using and if you are doing a research, that's we call it as analytical type of uh, research. And you have to identify the study area, in which area you are doing it, and the particular location, and also the period which you have done it. So that is very very important, because if you change the period and if you get the results also different results, so you have to specifically tell from what period and until what period you have done it. When it comes to an analytical kind of research, if you have acquired the data related to the changing of gold rates, for example, you have looked into 2013 data. 13 data means from what period to what period you have taken. So that is very very important. So that is the scope and period of time and study population. So what was the population, and from that what sampling unit, sampling frame and sampling procedures you all be followed. Okay. The sampling design process, how we done a sampling. The sampling is a technique which we used it to collect the data. The data collections you cannot done it then and there, because you have to define from whom you have collected the data and what was the purpose, whether those respondent is an appropriate person to give a data. So that we have to define it clearly. For that you need to know sampling design. You have to define it very clearly. The sampling design process is done it with the first step of defining the population. So first you have to define the population. For example, if you are doing the study related to know the stress level of the students in the western parts of Tamil Nadu, means your population is western parts of Tamil Nadu, so which covers those 10 districts, which comes from Coimbatore, Ooty, Tirupur, Erode, until Karur, Dindukal, in South Salem and Dharmapuri. So that's the locational area. So those areas, if you cover it, that's we call it as the population. From that population, how you select the sampling? So for that sampling, you will have various techniques like non-probability and probability sampling technique, in which way you are going to collect that techniques. So that is the second tip you have to define. And the third one is determine the sample size. From the population, you have to define decent and the exact sample size, so that you have collected the accurate data and that data represents that particular population. So that's where determining sample size is also one important aspect in the research methodology. And executing the sampling process, how we have done it. So we'll see in related to sampling size, it we need a clarity in it, how we have defined our population. From that population, what portions we have taken as the sample size. So there is a tool which has been available online, so where you can determine your sample size. So determining sample size to get a accurate size. So these are the online calculator tools are available, you can use it. So sample size calculator, where you can give it for the confident level as 95. Majority of the thesis, when we done it in the descriptive natures, we'll go for the 5% level of 5% significance level. So that is 95 percentage of the confident level. Here I have given it with the example of 1,000. Do you all able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And with the margin error of 5%, that is the deviations or some mistakes, if you can have it also, that is 5%. So this will help you to calculate and tell that how many sample size you have to get it. For 1,000 people, it is 278 samples you have to collect it. So this is how you need to define, and this is how you need to determine your sample size. And next, so these are the formulas, so that now the online tool itself giving us easily. So this is the thing I want to share it with you, to understand for how much population, how much sample is being, you have to fix it. Next is the classification of sampling techniques. So what are the techniques are available to collect the data? So you will have a two sampling techniques, that is probability and non-probability. The probability sampling technique is the technique where you will know the population size exactly. For example, if you want to collect the data in one particular school, where you need to know how many students are studying in that particular school, so that is the probability. In non-probability, if you take into in one particular city, how many students are being studying, so the defining will be little difficult. And also some maybe went to school for until primary and they have not continued it for secondary, you will have missing data related aspects, so those we call it as non probability. So these are the sampling designs, how you will done it. And these are the techniques I want to tell you how on what basis you can use it. So first we'll see into the non-probability sampling technique. The first one is convincing sampling. Majority of the people will use convincing sampling because those are the respondents who are all available, readily available. So they when I approach, they have given a data without any proper selection of those respondents. So that is the convincing sampling. And second one is judgmental sampling, where the people are ready to give a data who has a high information about one particular field, and the person is more informative, and if you lose that, you never get a data. So the judgmental sampling is majority used in the qualitative areas, where they go for the in-depth interviews to collect the information from one particular field of people. For example, if you want to study about tribals, without the judgmental sampling, you cannot do anything. And next is the quota sampling, which is being used as the one of the non probability sampling, where you want to study about one particular group. For example, if you want to know about the for example, mm, uh, the cigarette company is doing a study about what was the brands are used by various age group. So where you can classify it the age groups from 10 years, like 21 to 30, 31 to 40, 41 to 50. So each group, what was the preference of the cigarette brands, or the dress materials, or the mobile phones, or a laptop brands. So for them you can use it for the quota sampling. And the last non probability sampling technique is the snowball sampling, uh, where you never know who's the population exactly. So to find out the population, it is very, very difficult. Those times you can use snowballing sampling, where the first respondents will help you to identify the another respondents. The best example is if you want to do a survey on the HIV patients. So it is very difficult to get who are having the HIV diseases. So no one will relieve their identity that they'll have those kind of diseases. So for those times you can use snowballing techniques. And next is the probability sampling techniques, where you will know the exact populations, in which you can use any those four aspects. The first one is simple random sampling techniques, where every population, that is the individual population, will have a equal opportunity to participate in the responding. Okay, so you can take it on the uh, uh, every chance by uh, taking randomly. Now you will have a various algorithms and various tools are onlinely available to pick the random simple random sampling numbers. The only thing, you have to assign the serial numbers to the names or the respondent details, and from that you can identify, or you can select the simple random sampling. And the second one is systematic random sampling, where you will use it for the systematic methods in collecting data, like fifth person, every fifth person of the population, or 15th person of the population, or the first uh, house in the every street. So likewise you can go at the, so that is the systematic sampling. And the next one is stratified sampling, where you will use the characteristic related aspects like demographic variables. Based on that you will try to select it, like based on the color, age group, gender, salary combinations, or educational qualifications, you can classify them. And from one classification, if someone has been taken as the education qualification 10th 12th UG PG doctorates, and they have not went for the school. So these are the some of the classifications. So each classifications will be considered as the one strata, and from one strata you will collect the data. From the 10th standard until 10th they have studied group, you will collect a set of people as the respondents. And for UG, for PG, and one aspects. And last one is the cluster sampling, which has been mainly used on the location perspectives. For example, if you want to know the current trend in the one particular city, mobile phone usages, what was the preference of the online websites from one particular city, or the shoe brands which is being used in one particular city. So where you can go for the clustered sampling, you can divide it into various clusters. The one cluster you can assign it for one particular location or an area or a street, and from that you can take the respondents. So by which the basic sampling and research methodology part is over. The remaining part, that is the conceptual development, tools for analysis, questionnaire design, which is being continued in the next session, that is on tomorrow's session, by Dr. N. Prakash. Mm, and thank you for your patience listening. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Can
Sir,
you
yes,
post
sir.
the feedback, ma'am? And then generally
Yes,
you
sir.
are
Sir,
giving
any
lectures to
questions?
the all. Yeah. I am saying one question.
Oh,
Generally, you are
okay, sir.
giving classes to the all.
Uh,
I mean, for research scholars, some of them are faculty, some of them are
yes,
science
sir.
background. There are different categories. So,
Yes,
you
sir.
have, you have given, you have taken cinema. I think it
Yes,
is
sir.
better to take one um particular. There are so many issues at present in the society. This is my personal opinion only. Don't think otherwise.
Okay, sir. No issues, no issues. I just wanted to convey the thing which everyone can understand. So that's why I have taken, and also I have shown it how the literature has been done it in IoT also, and also my technical research article also, because those
Okay.
will be more is understand only by the person who is doing research in the operation areas. And also I
Okay.
cannot touch it with the marketing or HR related, because I'm purely doing my research. Still, I'm continuing it only in those operational related areas. So that's why
Ah,
I have taken it cinema as the one part. So where it is easy to connect with the people and also to convey the things which I want to convey there. I hope it reached with the all the audience. And thank you for your suggestions, sir. In next, if when we were going with that, I'll use any other current literature. Even I'll try to explain those IoT papers also, or some HR related or marketing related things. No issue, sir.
oh,
Thank you.
thank you. So, please post the feedback link in the group, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Definitely, sir. At the end of the session, we will post it.
Okay, okay.
Any other questions?
Madam, I have one doubt.
Yes, sir.
We are having probability sampling and non-probability sampling.
Yes, sir.
In probability sampling, there are several methods.
Hmm.
In among that, systematic sampling is one.
Yes, sir.
Some of them are telling that systematic sampling is partially probability sampling because
Yeah.
if you select 10 numbers, then you will go for another 10 numbers.
Yes, sir.
In between, there is no chance.
Yes, sir.
So I have attended some research methodology courses. This question
Okay,
was
sir.
arised in that sessions. So what is your
Okay, sir.
opinion?
Sir, I agree with them
Ma'am,
because,
Vaishnavi ma'am,
sir. Yes, sir.
with your permission, can I explain the detail to the participants on this question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir,
You can
thank you
go
for
ahead, sir.
yes, sir. Yeah, thank you for your question, sir.
Yeah,
Actually, you are mentioning about systematic sampling. Systematic
yeah.
sampling is a probability sampling technique only, right?
Okay.
You have
Hmm.
mentioning that systematic is not a not a probability sampling, but it is a probability sampling only. When
Ah,
the normally when the population is known,
ah.
the researcher
Okay.
will go for probability sampling technique. When the
Okay.
population is unknown, the
Hmm.
researcher will go for non-probability sampling technique. Okay.
Okay.
And the systematic sampling, you said that systematic sampling, we are applying certain type of system or procedure. Maybe you are taking a survey for every 10th home, right? Every 10th home, 20th home, 30th home, 40th home. We have some system. We are following some system that is mentioned in the methodology itself. Okay. And we have system, and apart from the systematic, we have simple random sampling, stratified random sampling. So there are other techniques are also available in the probability sampling technique. Today, among the researcher, they are also using multi-stage sampling, right? Multi-stage sampling. It is a combination of 2 or 3 processes which are involved. And one more clarification I just want to put forth among the research forum. Normally, when we are writing a research paper or when we are doing any research, maybe a research project or funded research project or thesis, it is advisable to go for only probability sampling technique. If we go for non-probability sampling technique, and the examiner or the paper, whoever is evaluating the paper, they will ask the question. In abroad and also for well-developed countries, normally the convenient sampling is not at all acceptable. Okay, not at all acceptable. I have attended several workshops, and even only few books they have mentioning about non convenient sampling is a non-probability sampling technique. And if you attended very good workshops conducted by the different foreign professors, Harvard and all, they are asking about where the convenient sampling is coming. So convenient sampling is not at all a method. So it's better we can avoid the convenient sampling when we are writing a research paper. Okay. So this is my humble request. I just put forth into the research.
Yes.
I hope you understand, sir.
Convenience sampling is only for pilot studies. For quick results, that will be used.
Exactly, sir. Exactly.
That too, if you taken the sample from non-property sampling, then based on the results, we are not going to give any conclusion. That is the main drawback of
Exactly correct.
So, if you're not going to give any conclusion, then decision making, policy making will become problem.
Exactly correct. Because when we are writing a research paper, when we are writing a thesis, we are define the number of population and also we define what is sample size. Then there is not required. If we define the population, if we define the sample size or derive the sample size, then definitely it is not a non-probability sampling. We should apply only probability sampling. I hope you understand.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your patient information.
Sir, we'll wind up the session, sir.
Okay, if no questions are done, it is better to wind up and post the
Ma'am, if
feedback.
you have any question, you can get it. Otherwise, we can wind up the session.
Yes, it is better.
Dear participants, we are having the third day of our workshop, which is going to happen on tomorrow, where we are going to concentrate the questionnaire development and questionnaire design. Then after that, we are also going to discuss on concept development and theoretical development part of this research paper. Then we are also going to discuss the different techniques and tools where we can apply. Say, if suppose ANOVA, in what are all the stages we can apply ANOVA, in when it is possible to apply chi-square, correlation, regression, and all types of tools and techniques we are going to learn, and only on that is criteria for using the different tools. We are not going to discuss detailedly or practically or using software. We are going to see the criteria for using the different tools and techniques on tomorrow. And followed by tomorrow's session, we have 2 more sessions. From that, we are going to learn about the different types of journals and how we can submit the research article to the journal, what are all the Scopus, Web of Science, Science Citation Index journals. Then last day, we are going to learn on the different concepts related to the journal, that is impact factor, what do you mean by H index, I10 index. And then we also learn on UGC CAR journal, etc., etc. And definitely we will post our FDP material at the end of the day, because we are updating our slide and other material. That's what we are not able to send it the PPT at before the class or after the class. Definitely we can upload all our PPT at the end of the class. We also try to upload our video in the YouTube. Then that also we can post it in the WhatsApp group. We can post it before end of the class, right? Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Then please concentrate and somewhat more time on number of journals that are available. Nowadays, it has become a very knack period. They are insisting publish in the Scopus or UGC CARE.
Yeah. We are going to focus on these aspects for last 2 days. 4 hours we are going to dedicate it for this session.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Madam,
Sir,
we can wind up.
Yes,
Madam,
sir.
we can
I'm
wind up. You
posting
can post
the
it. Yes.
feedback link for the day 2.
And ask the Sanjay to close the record option.
Close the record.
Okay, sir.
Sanjay?
Okay.
Okay, Kana.
Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for the patience listening.